I've come to realize in this era of nostalgia mongering that there are countless games from my childhood that hold a special place in my heart, and I often find that that is taken advantage of by various video game companies. But one that has not let me down yet is Sabotage Studio. They're now 2 for 2 with modern indie games inspired by classics that mean a great deal to me. This video is about Sea of Stars, but there's no way I can not mention their previous outing, The Messenger, because it's phenomenal, and it's the reason I was so excited to play this game and why I had so much faith in the studio to make it. Sea of Stars is a modern RPG inspired by the greats of the 16-bit era, like Chrono Trigger and Super Mario RPG, which just happen to be two of my favorites, and it wears its inspirations on its sleeve, but carries the timed hit bonus mechanic from Mario RPG and the lighthearted, humorous moments in the dire, catastrophic world setting of Chrono Trigger masterfully. I wanted to get those references out of the way early because this game can and does stand tall on its own. The setting of Sea of Stars is a beautiful pixel art world full of mountainside mines, seaside pirate ports, spooky swamps, floating islands, and more, on seas as far as the eye can see. You play as two main protagonists, Zale, the Solar Blade Dancer, and Valir, the Lunar Monk, young Solstice warriors from a long proud tradition of solstice-born, sun and magic-wielding soldiers in an eternal war with the Dwellers, dark magical entities of great power and malice. Your journey begins as you set out to perform your duty of cleansing the last remaining Dweller in the world, and on your quest, you pick up several new ragtag party members and assemble a memorable and charming crew. The combat is simple, but offers more depth than your traditional turn-based RPG. You have, as I mentioned prior, bonus damage for timing certain attacks just right, but also a combo meter, which builds as you attack and defend. When full, you're granted access to special combo moves 2 of your party members can perform with no additional mana cost, and at least one of them restores a small amount of your mana on top of dealing damage to an opponent. There's also a special energy that drops each time you perform a regular attack, and it can be stacked up to 3 times, and used to grant bonus effects on regular attacks or magic attacks. Often enemies will also have a timer along with tiles above their head in combat. Each tile corresponds with a certain weapon or type of magic, and if you can hit the enemy with attacks corresponding to each tile before the timer is up, it'll interrupt whatever move they had planned and ends their turn. It's a really great mechanic that works well and forces you to switch up and experiment with your party. There are tons of side quests and mini games like fishing, collecting rare items for rewards, and my personal favorite, a mini game called Wheels, which honestly deserves its own standalone game. It's a really good tabletop game featured in most cities in the game. I really dug in and tried to do everything, see everything, soak up every bit of lore, and my final playtime was about 45 hours. And they were 45 hours well spent. I've heard some rumblings about pacing issues, and I didn't experience that at all. Maybe it was just the reviewers trying to get their review out in time. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's going to be an issue for the consumer, and it wasn't an issue I had at all. In a world set on milking every dollar out of us with nostalgia and false promises, Sea of Stars stands as a shining beacon of what a small team that truly cares about their product can deliver to consumers, and comes highly recommended for fans of JRPGs or anyone who wants to experience a great story and game.